Hello, Ken. How are you this fantastic evening?
Dan, I am doing great. How are you, my friend?
I'm excellent. So, tonight we are talking about spring cleaning. What is this all about?
Spring has sprung. It's the vernal equinox. It is springtime, and out here in Phoenix, it is really showing. Things are in bloom. I know it's different than other parts of the country back east where things may not be in bloom, but out here, we were just noticing this morning all sorts of new growth on plants, new life happening everywhere. We've got the old leaves dropping from the wintertime, and we've got all this new growth on our live oak trees coming through. And it is a beautiful thing. But the other thing that I noticed without even realizing that spring has sprung was I just felt motivated to do some house cleaning. And so I pulled apart the office closet. I'm just staring over it right now. I pulled everything out and spent a few hours going through that and literally shredding everything that didn't need to be saved, reorganizing everything else, cleaning everything down, vacuuming it out. And the feeling afterwards was just magnificent. And I thought about, what that means in terms of taking inventory of everything that we want to clean out in our lives. And the closet is like this, the easiest example. But I thought about the other pieces too, like what are the habits that may not be serving me really well. And I know people traditionally do this at New Year's. I've really enjoyed spring as a time to think about new life and about cleaning out. The sun's up longer now. The days are warmer, getting really close to being able to jump in the pool, which I'm looking forward to. And it just feels like a time where I want that kind of a fresh start. And so the simple place to start was organizationally in the office. But then beyond that, I just did a quick inventory. It's like, how's my diet and exercise been? How am I doing in terms of relationships and keeping in touch with people? Reached out to my cousin that I haven't talked to for several months and had an hour-long conversation with her. And it was really beautiful and had a chance to renew that relationship. So I think of it, Dan, I think of it as not only cleaning, but renewal. I think of it as like dusting things off, but also sprucing things up. And I think it's that dichotomy of the two that really feels impactful to me. So that's what we're talking about today.
Speaking of cleaning things off, so a pollen is starting because I went out to my car and noticed a nice layer of pollen on top of it. I'm not sure out in Arizona if you even get a lot of pollen or if it is. Okay, you get that as well. But I didn't even realize it. So growing up, I was allergic to pollen. Fun fact. And it did have more of an impact on me in my ability to breathe well, et cetera. But I was on a walk the other day and I definitely had this tinge of feeling, but I thought, no, it's too early. There's no pollen yet. Until I saw my car and then I was like, oh, that's what it was. That's what I was feeling. I was feeling that spring was truly in the air. But Ken's absolutely right. We have actually had a colder than normal, I'll say, winter. And so because of that, everything's a little bit late to bloom. We have tiny little buds on the tree that I can see outside of my window here. That's a magnolia tree, but we have zero leaves that I can see anywhere, not even starting. Only the tiny little buds are starting to prop up. But no, when I think of spring cleaning, obviously it doesn't have to apply just to cleaning at all. That's a great example. But I like to think of spring cleaning as more of a starting over point, right? And to me, starting over is an exciting thing to think about. I know for some people, it's a daunting thing. So many people that I've coached have told me when they have a breakup, that's a great example, they have a breakup, they're like, oh, this is miserable. I got to get back into this dating market. And I'm like, how exciting for you. Not that I wish I was in their shoes, but how exciting for them that they get to start over, meaning from the sense that it's because what comes with that is who you get to decide to be. And to me, that is the amazing thing about humans compared to anything else. Most animals, they are literally, it's like living in the matrix. You could say, nope, I know exactly what they're going to do at all times. They're literally just conditioned creatures, right? From start to finish. But humans, we could decide a whole new identity right now, today. So we can start over anytime we want. But anytime we have a defined situation, I think it's a great time to start over. And since we're now starting spring, I think we can ask ourselves, like, is there an area that we have a desire to start over in? And so if maybe you haven't followed your New Year's resolution from, 3.5 months ago or more, maybe this is the time to start over and do some spring cleaning of your body, right? And to go, holy cow, I thought I was going to follow through and do exactly what I said I was going to do about that eating plan or workout plan. But now I get to do a spring cleaning of, it could start actually with your clothes. Maybe you actually clear out those clothes, right, that you held on to because you're like, in case I don't lose that weight, I want to hold on to these. And maybe you get rid of them. Put that pressure on yourself to start over and then actually follow through this time and begin anew with the new you that you can become first with your body.
So the thing that I notice about the act of cleaning out my room, my office, is that I felt less stress afterwards. Like, I loved the activity of it. I loved being in motion. I loved being in action. But I also noticed that when it was done, all of a sudden I felt stress fall away because I knew exactly what was where. And I knew that, I found tax forms from like 1997. It was absurd. And I don't have to have that stuff anymore. And so I got rid of all of that and I felt lighter. The other thing that I noticed just with like some of the stacks of stuff that I had sitting around was that it's visual pollution for me. I know there's a lot of people that can comfortably work in an environment where they've got stacks of books or stacks of paper, and it's like, no, I know where everything is. It's third stack from the right, halfway down. And great if you operate that way. I have a hard time with that. And so just getting rid of that stuff, getting that stuff filed, getting that stuff recycled or shredded, man, it just changed my outlook on walking into my office. I walk in and I feel myself exhale. It feels good to be in here. And a week or so ago, we did the same thing for our master bedroom closet, and it was that same thing. Walked in there, and there was no longer that notion of, am I going to trip over something if I come in here at night? Because we had cleaned everything up, and the place felt lighter and felt cleaner. And there was that same sort of lightness that transferred to me. So I think that whatever you're doing, whether it's taking an inventory of your body, your physical health, whether it's taking an inventory of the closets or the rooms in your house that need to be cleaned out, frankly, whether it's taking an inventory of the people who you're in relationship with, and whether or not those relationships are serving you or you're hanging on to them simply because they've always been there, the end result after you do the work is going to be a sense of lightness and relief. And I don't know about the rest of you, but lightness and relief right now, at this point in time in our world, man, those are two very, very, very welcome emotions. And so I'd invite you to think about that. Take an inventory, clean out what you can, recycle, reuse, give away, whatever you have to do. But know that at the end of that process, whatever it is, there's going to be a sense of great relief and lightness and ease. And that's going to make your everyday life just that much better.
So speaking of spring cleaning, I keep little lists of things I need to do. And I'm actually very good at following through and getting these things, checked off and accomplished. One of the things that's lingered a little bit too long, and I just got it done this weekend, was giving away some old items. One of them was an old vacuum. It's a Dyson vacuum, but we had replaced it with a newer one that works even better. And the other one was an old refrigerator that we had replaced a couple of years ago, and it's been used in our garage, but we don't use it enough that it's justifiable to just keep it. Somebody else could use it. So I went on a marketplace online that actually gave away stuff for free, and you'd be amazed. It took no time at all, like 1 million responses, and people were like, I want it, I want it, I want it. And within the same day, somebody came over with a big truck and picked up the fridge, and hopefully is putting it to good use. And somebody came over and got the vacuum, is putting it to good use. But it made me think about that I think our tendency when we clean out anything is just to throw it away, right? Or be done with it. And that's in complete contrast to the people who are hoarders who will hold on to stuff forever. But a lot of times when somebody's finally like, fine, let's get rid of that thing, they just get rid of it and throw it away. And when they do that, they're wasting something that is still of good use per se. And if something is still of good use, then why not find somebody who could use it, right? So I'll just challenge you, if you're doing spring cleaning of your household items, to think about that there are many free services. So if you don't want to go through the hassle of selling it or trying to make money, or you feel weird about making money off it, then one, you could donate it. There's a lot of donation services who will come pick it up for free. Or you could list it and somebody who doesn't want to go through a donation service will literally just come to your house and pick up those items. And that includes everything: clothes, household items, et cetera, et cetera. So just think about putting it to good use, something that you're going to give away. Another thing I would say is this weekend was productive as well on outside items. I had somebody come over and turn on my sprinkler. First world problem that I have a sprinkler in the area that I live, but it's nice that I do. They found a lot of little problems that they had to repair and fix to get it ready. But in anticipation of them coming, I went around and trimmed branches off of trees. And what that made me think about is how when we're doing spring cleaning, literally in this case, what I'm talking about, we are freeing ourselves up for new to happen, right? So when I trim a branch off a tree, it might seem like, well, is that necessary? Yes, because that branch being trimmed off gives room for air and light to come through. Maybe more branches will grow that are fresher and newer. Maybe flowers will bloom that, you know what I mean, that would not have been able to get sunlight before. All sorts of things happen when we do proper spring cleaning. And if you give that reality of what I'm talking about back to your regular life and go back to what Ken said, it's like sometimes by clearing out that bad relationship, right? We make space, we give room for something that could be even better for us. So if you're watching the video of this, you will see in the background my youngest daughter spinning around in circles over and over and over. She's a very great dancer, so check that out. But if you're not watching the video, you'll just be able to hear my voice and you will not be able to see that happening in the background. But understand, in my opinion, spring cleaning is all about making space for something that could be even better.
I don't think that can be understated. There's really a flow to life that I think oftentimes we forget about. It's not a series of checklist items. It's not a series of one thing after another. They're all interconnected. And if we have stuff clogging up our lives, whether it's physical stuff, whether it's emotional stuff, whether it's relational stuff, there's no room for anything to flow through. It's like those rivers where there's debris, branches have fallen, and things have piled up, and the flow of the stream is blocked. And so, to Dan's point, I think that if you see this as a way to unblock, as a way to open up, as a way to actually allow that stream of fresh water to flow through your life in any number of ways, then spring cleaning doesn't become a chore. It really becomes a joy. And you mentioned it when you talked about, somebody that is going to start dating again. It could be seen as like awful and I got to go do this again, or it could be seen as a new opportunity and a new chance to meet somebody that could be perfect for you. And likewise, every time we've done something like this, and we have there's a couple of charities here in Phoenix that we really like to give to. Anytime that we've cleaned things out and taken stuff in, something wonderful has flowed into our life. Whether it's an unexpected client, whether it's a seemingly chance meeting with someone who's just been of great benefit to us, whatever it happens to be, something has flowed in. And I am convinced that it's by keeping that stream open that we're able to enjoy that kind of flow and that freshness and that ease that comes with it. Last thing I want to say on this is that it doesn't just have to be at springtime. I think this is a great time because it's lighter outside now. It's lighter earlier in the morning. The weather's warmer. We're spending more and more time outside and it's beautiful. And so it's kind of a natural transition for that. This can be something that you do anytime when you feel your life a bit constricted. It's like, why does it feel like things aren't flowing? Why do I feel stuck? Why does it feel like things aren't moving? Take a look around. Is there something that you could do to unblock that stream? Is there something that you could do to open up that flow? It could be so simple. It could take an hour or two, and all of a sudden, there's that sense of ease and freshness that happens with life. So take advantage of this time of year. It's beautiful. It's perfect for it. It's a great opportunity. And use the example of this time of year to set you up to be able to continue that flow throughout the year.
And my final thought on this is you can spring clean your mind. And that might sound like woo woo, but the way you do that is actually by um, silence. It's by sleeping, right? Rest. The place that you grow the most physically is actually not when you're working out. It's in the rest and recovery after your workout. So when our mind gets just filled with the stresses of the day and everything we're working on, that silence, right? To just like turn off whatever is distracting you, like put your phone down, put it in another room on charge, get away from it, turn off that TV or whatever you could be distracted by, and just give yourself time to just like clean out your mind. It can just be sitting outside in nature. It can be going on a walk, but just get away from, I'll say, like the technology usually thing, and clean yourself from that. And then allow yourself to free your mind up for some new information, for some new thoughts to enter your mind.